So last week on Friday, we got news that the Indiana State Senate is run by a whole bunch of losers. They call themselves Republicans. I call them rhinos. Apparently, they have no appetite to fight the fights that are needed in this country. They have no idea what time it is. They have no idea how vicious the Democrats are at clinching victory. And we apparently, as Republicans, not we, but the Republicans over in Indiana are just content on losing. Apparently, there's a redistricting battle. We'll call it a battle just for the sake of it. The governor, Mike Braun, was down to redistrict their state. They currently have 11 electoral votes, 11 districts in their state. Currently goes about 9-2 Republicans to Democrats. And we have the opportunity to redistrict that state so that it's 11-0 or 10-1. 11-0 would be ideal. However, apparently Republicans in that state don't have the appetite for it. It's just the norms, the conditions, the norms. Screw the norms, okay? The norms got thrown out the window a long time ago. And we talk about gerrymandering and redistricting. Take a look at their bordering state, Illinois, okay? It's one of the most gerrymandered state in the country. Look at Maryland. Look at other states like this. They don't care about norms and representation that follows the people. I mean, get real, Indiana. Understand what time it is. So the Senate President pro tem, his name is Roderick Bray. He put out a statement on Friday. He said, over the last several months, Senate Republicans have given very serious and thoughtful consideration to the concept of redrawing our state's congressional maps. Today, I'm announcing there are not enough votes to move forward with that idea, and the Senate will not reconvene in December. So they basically just gave up. Indiana has 9 congressional districts. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. I got in my head a little bit. It typically splits 7 Republicans to 2 Democrats. Okay, again, it could be 9-0, 8-1, but we just apparently don't want to fight for it. Again, it borders Illinois, which is one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. So who are they trying to impress, these Indiana Republicans? Are they trying to impress the Republican voters? Certainly not. This is not what we want when the other states are willing to move forward, and states like Texas who are actually, showing that they're willing to fight. States like North Carolina, they just added 1 Republican seat by gerrymandering. Texas 5, Missouri 1. Ohio's going to get 2 more Republican seats, even though that was a compromise map. It should be 4 more. Those rhinos in the Ohio Senate, I'm not too thrilled with either. Meanwhile, in Utah, Democrats are getting an extra seat. California, they're going to get 5 extra seats. In Virginia, Democrats are about to add 4 Democrat seats. The Senate pro tem in the state I live in is named Louise Lucas, and she's absolutely ruthless. I wish the Republican Senate in Indiana were as ruthless as her. But no, we're trying to impress who? The viewers of MS Now, formerly MSNBC? Democrats? The Republican base wants us to redistrict. In fact, they owe it to us. Because in 2020, we know that the census report was BS. It was total garbage. Okay? By their own accounts, by their own audit, the U.S. Census's audit, they overcounted blue states, undercounted red states. They counted illegal aliens. The way that the Congress is appropriated right now is incorrect. And it is on the Republicans who run these states to correct that. It is their obligation, it is their duty. But Republicans in the Indiana Senate, they just don't want to fight. They just want to take enjoy their Thanksgiving early, go on Christmas break. Doesn't seem to matter to them. They don't know what time it is. Donald Trump was not happy with this news. He took to Truth Social last Friday, and he had this to say. He said, very disappointed in Indiana State Senate Republicans, led by Rhino Senators Rod Bray and Greg Good, for not wanting to redistrict their state, allowing the United States Congress to perhaps gain 2 more Republican seats. The Democrats have done redistricting for years, often illegally, and all other appropriate Republican states have done it. Because of these 2 politically correct type gentlemen in quotes, and a few others, they could be depriving the Republicans of a majority in the House. A very big deal. And it is. It's a huge deal. California is trying to pick up 5 seats, and no one is complaining about that. It's weak Republicans, rhinos, that cause our country such problems. It's why we have crazy policies and ideas that are so bad for America. Also, a friend of mine, Governor Mike Braun, perhaps, is not working the way he should to get the necessary votes. That's a good point, too. I mean, come on, Mike Braun, whip these votes. Let's go. Get them in line. Considering that Mike wouldn't be governor without me, not even close, it's disappointing. Any Republican that votes against this important redistricting, potentially having an impact on America itself, should be primaried. Indiana is a state with strong, smart, and patriotic people. They want us to see our country win and want to make America great again. Senators Bray, Good, and the others to be released to the public later this afternoon should do their job and do it now. If not, let's get them out of office ASAP. Well said. And Donald Trump is probably the only person with the ability to primary these guys and have them lose. That's all he does, have to primary their opponent. They're going to lose. And all these Republicans, norms, conditions, you can't redistrict in the middle of the census. It's supposed to be done every 10 years. That's BS. Throw that out the window. New York finalized its new congressional maps in February 28th of 2024, just last year, a year and a half ago. It was very little covered in the media, very little covered on the mainstream networks. Why? Because they kind of secretly did this. We're only supposed to do it 10 years, they tell us, but New York did it. They made 2 seats more blue. Okay? In New York, the redrawn map was passed by the Democratic supermajorities in both the Senate and the Assembly, with votes of 45-17 in the Senate and 118-30 in the Assembly. Okay? So it's been done before. Other states are doing it. Blue states are doing it. It's time for Republicans to catch up. And again, in 2020, it was done wrong, according to the own census's audit. So we owe it to the Republican voters. We owe it to this country to have fair maps. And that's what Indiana is depriving us right now. So if you live in Indiana, get on those phones. Call these guys. Let them know it's not acceptable. And I'm just so darn sick of Republicans clinching defeat from the jaws of victory. Donald Trump wants to end the filibuster so that way he can pass more of his legislation. And the counter argument is like, oh no, well, Democrats will have so much power when they finally take office again. And so Democrats are hesitant, or Republicans are hesitant. We don't want to give them the power to do that. We want it just for ourselves, but we don't want to give it to them. So let's not end the filibuster. But I think a stronger counter argument of not ending the filibuster is that when Republicans have power, we don't do anything with it. Okay, so we're going to end the filibuster and do nothing. I mean, if these Republican senators from Indiana can prove anything else, it's that we don't have the spine to actually do what's right for the country. Democrats will when they ever take power over again. So that's what I struggle with right now. Yeah, we could blow up the filibuster. We can end that. And Donald Trump wants us to. But do you really have faith that Republicans will govern to the way we want them to should the filibuster be ended? I have my doubts. And those in Indiana are proving those doubts correct. It's like having a secret passcode, sharing it with your enemies, but not knowing the passcode yourself. Okay? They could use all of this when the filibuster is in, they could patch and rush through their legislation, but we just are hamstringing ourselves. So that's my frustration with this. I'm open to the idea of ending the filibuster, but boy, we better use it. We better use it. Trump today took to Truth Social just this morning, right before the show started, and he had more to say about this Indiana failures to redistrict. He went strong again. He said, I will be strongly endorsing against any state senator or House member from the great state of Indiana that votes against the Republican Party and our nation by not allowing for redistricting for congressional seats in the United States House of Representatives, as every other state in our nation is doing. Republican or Democrat. Democrats are trying to steal our seats everywhere, and we're not going to let this happen. This all began with the rigged census. We must keep the majority at all costs. Republicans must fight back. So again, Take Donald Trump's word. Call, if you live in Indiana, call your representation. Let them know that this is not acceptable. Pressure does work, and we need to keep the pressure up. We need to keep the pressure up.